Sorry. Hey, honey. I know mint chocolate chip. I know you. Yeah, me and the guys were just gonna grab a beer after.
What is going on?
Hold on. I can't. No, I'm losing you.
God.
Hold on.
Come on.
Well, I'm in the wood. Hold on.
Really?
Sweetie, I'm trying to find a spot. Are you even there? You're not there. Hey, Garrett, you know county line's out of bounds, right? Garrett.
Hello?
Garrett.
Dan? Hello?
Oh, honey, I gotta call you back.
I'm all in.
With all due respect, you and your good old boys need to work on your good old bluffs.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, Your Honor, some new evidence has just come to my attention. I call.
Straight flush.
Thanks again for letting me take Sheriff Thorne's seat.
I'll never understand why he didn't request a recount after losing by so few votes.
His wife Jordan's been hounding him for years to retire and move to the Keys. I reckon once he lost his excuse not to.
How is it dealing with his successor?
Different.
Sheriff, judge, politician, and a lawyer. They all walk into a diner. Sounds like the setup to a joke, don't it? If you're gambling on the York side of the county line, consuming alcohol in Maxville County, isn't that an overt county ordinance violation?
Are you planning on making a citizen's arrest?
No. Rules are made to be broken.
Hey, Johnny, you got a concealed carry for that 9mm you got tucked in your pants?
Bet.
Care to show it to me?
I would, Sheriff, but, you ain't got no jurisdiction here.
Looks like somebody needs to rebuy.
Get out of here.
Who's that?
Zach Van Zant.
Brought charges against him more times than I care to remember.
Clint's biggest regret is that he never put that lowlife behind bars.
Top item on my agenda is to finish what Clint started.
Got your wings. Cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger. Ta-da!
Veggie burger. Is it too much to ask to eat what I want one day a week? It's called a cheat day.
Maybe if you hadn't already averaged 365 cheat days every single year of your entire life.
Thank you. Hey, Scooter.
Whoa, slow down. Now, what happened?
Being that his body's right here in the middle of the road that splits both the counties, I thought it might be best if I called both you and Sheriff Joe there.
Appreciate it.
The victim is Garrett Barlow.
No kidding.
Who?
An ambulance chaser. Van Zant's attorney.
York County instituted a new dress code for his deputy, Scooter?
No, this is that Revolutionary War reenactment thing we're doing here.
And you chose to fight for the British?
I did not. I got traded. Me and Phil Wilkes got bumped for Benedict Arnold and some guy named Cornwallis.
Hey, Warren. I wouldn't have thought you'd be a reenactor.
Oh, just getting back into it. Barely fit into my uniform.
Warren here's medical examiner for both counties.
Pleasure to meet you.
So what do you think?
Well, it looks like a single GSW to the chest. Lack of soot deposition and gunpowder stippling.
Wonder if maybe he was shot back there in the woods and he drug himself out here.
Found you.
Y'all use live rounds at these things?
Never. Probably gonna match the one I dig out of Barlow there.
No, that exit wound sure didn't look like a musket ball.
Eh, you may be right.
Oh, here she comes.
Hey, guys, can you make sure no one else comes back?
I feel like I'm back at basic training with my drill instructor.
Thank you.
Hey,
It was
Sheriff.
a real nice service you had for Steph. Amber was sorry she couldn't be there.
Did you call her?
Tell her that defending her country is more than a valid reason.
What were you thinking?
In the middle of the road. I didn't know which one.
Save it. Thanks for coming, but I got it from here.
What makes you assume this is a York County case?
Everything but his sneakers are on my side of the line.
Well, the reenactment took place in my county. The victim happened to live there, and he also got shot there.
Possession's 9/10 of the law, and I'm in possession of 9/10 of the body.
Okay, fine. You play lead, I play rhythm.
You want to work together?
Well, in situations like this, where there's a question of jurisdiction, me and Clint always work together.
I'm not sure if you heard, but your BFF lost. Is this a crime scene or a costume party, Deputy?
It's a crime scene.
Then treat it like one.
I need you guys to back up, if you would.
Buddy. Look, I just figured since this is your first homicide that maybe you could use a little assistance.
You figured wrong.
That was a kind gesture that you made. She can't look a gift horse in the mouth.
She looks at this horse like she thinks I'm ready to be put out to pasture.
If this is her jurisdiction, there's nothing you can do.
I could solve it before she does.
You'd solve a murder out of spite?
Not just out of spite.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Also so I could gloat.
Alton, really? So, what if she beats you to it?
Probably cares more about being in charge than actually putting in the work.
Treat me like a rookie. I know that look.
What?
Oh, I don't know. What are the odds? Something in there rhymes with Van Zant.
A little early for ski season, ain't it? All right. Put your hands up. While you're at it, let's see your face. Now, who do we have?
11825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
You think it was Barlow's killer or killers?
Kind of hard to say. He represented half the crooks in this part of the world. Probably a long list of ex-clients who'd be glad to get rid of any paper trail.
This type of mess is gonna be impossible to figure out what or if anything was taken. Should we just call Sheriff Joe and let her know what happened?
She wants to be a one-woman show. I think we should respect that.
That's 100 acres of grassland saved and a merit badge well earned. The hills east of Maxville ran red, white, and blue yesterday as the Rotary performed its annual reenactment of the Battle of Blue Ridge. When the dust cleared, local attorney Garrett Barlow remained lying where he had fallen. Reports indicate Barlow died sometime during the reenactment in what newly elected Sheriff Joanne Porter's office describes as suspicious circumstances. The family of the deceased went further.
Suspicious?
Calling Barlow's death a homicide.
Someone suspiciously put a bullet in the middle of his chest.
Let's not believe in beginner's luck.
I'm sorry. The policeman is just a big old grouch before he's had his coffee.
To support the inexperienced young sheriff in what would be.
Why'd you turn it off?
Because watching it is bad for your blood pressure, and listening to you is bad for mine. Maddie's Scooter. All the years that you've been coming here to eat, have you ever known us to deliver?
Hey, Maddie, let me talk to him. Morning, Scooter.
Oh, bless your heart. I am starving to death, Alden. Thank you, thank you.
Kept you here all night, huh?
She is treating me like some kind of glorified security guard, Alden. She's got me going through files for speeding tickets from 1985.
So you're in the doghouse, huh?
Yeah, I am. She's ticked at me for calling you about that body.
Ah.
And, I'm a biscuit short.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
But no, not me. The order. I'm a butter biscuit short here.
Well, if I were you, I'd suspect a delivery boy. Now, what's Joe thinking by not declaring this a murder?
Oh, she thinks that one of the reenactors might have used a live round instead of a blank.
So it was a musket ball and not a bullet that killed Barlow?
Well, I ain't really in the loop on that, but she reasons that there's too many witnesses out there for somebody to plan a murder.
Witnesses who are half disguised shooting other witnesses who are falling down and playing dead. Can you imagine a better place to commit a murder?
No, I agree. Well, she had me collect all the weapons, including mine. I guess she expects to get a ballistics match.
Hey, who found the body?
Fellow by the name of Danny Boone.
You're kidding me.
No, he's a dentist here in York County. He's good.
Well, sure, everyone knew Garrett. He was known for cheating.
Cheating?
You could shoot him at close range, and then he would pretend to do this Matrix move. Open wide for me. Oh, this one time he brought a paintball gun to the Battle of Gettysburg. Shot Robert E. Lee right in the crotch. Got to the point, the Reenactment Society president had no choice but to ban him.
Well, how'd he get back in?
Garrett filed a lawsuit against the society. Riley had no choice but to reinstate him.
So it'd be fair to say that Riley's no big fan of Garrett's.
It's fair to say that Riley has thrown a barbecue in celebration of the fact that Garrett is no longer a dues-paying member. My wife's not letting me go.
Does Riley live in Maxville?
York.
Well, thanks, Doc.
We're not done. You got 3 cavities.
Actually, I do have to go. Thank you.
You're gonna need it.
What are you doing here?
Got a free toothbrush.
Maybe I wasn't clear about not needing your assistance.
You were perfectly clear. But I still got the right to investigate the murder of one of my constituents.
First off, we're most likely looking at manslaughter. And do whatever you want in your county, but you have no legal authority once you cross into mine.
Since when do I need legal authority to ask a guy a couple questions?
Since I say you do. And if I catch you playing cops and robbers on my side of the line again, I'm gonna arrest you for interfering with an official police investigation.
Really?
Try me.
I think she wants to arrest me.
You gave it a shot. What are you gonna do? You can't cross the county line.
My BBQ was planned before Garrett died, and I know I shouldn't have joked about it being a celebration too soon. But in my defense, comedy is subjective. When I told people I wish Garrett was dead, I meant it figuratively. Should I be talking to a lawyer?
Nah. Criminals are stupid, but not this stupid.
Thanks.
Look, I'm gonna need the names of everybody who was involved in the reenactment. Can you do that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think Joe's getting suspicious, Alden.
If we're careful, she won't find out.
Well, we got the ballistics report back. Guess what? You were right.
Huh.
And Barlow wasn't shot with no musket. It was a 9mm.
Do you reckon 9 was pretty popular back in the 1700s?
I reckon not.
That's because George Luger didn't invent them till 1902.
Stopped by that new microbrewery after Frisbee golf last night.
After what?
Frisbee golf, twice a week.
You were an All-American to Georgia Tech.
It's good for the hand-eye coordination. Anyways, heard you're an IPA guy.
Well, thank you. Sucking up to the boss is not only appreciated, but encouraged.
I also came in early to finish entering in the list of reenactors into the system.
Anybody with a record?
A disturbingly high number, but only one was represented by Barlow.
Oh, yeah. Brody Haywood. Yeah, he used to work for Van Zandt.
He just got released after doing 6 years for a bank robbery.
Maybe he's back on Van Zandt's payroll.
Or he's just another disgruntled client looking for more than a refund. His parole information has him working at a body shop in York.
You see that? A month with me and you're doing first-rate work.
Or it's my criminology degree.
Yeah, you might want to hang back. I don't think Joe's going to be too happy about this.
Are you sure we shouldn't just pass along the tip?
Dante, old cop rule number 1. It's better to beg forgiveness than ask permission.
I just don't see Joe as the forgiving type.
That works out. I'm not exactly the begging type. Mr. Haywood, is that a late 18th century rifle in your pocket? Or could it be a 9mm? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Look what I found. The word name or their name?
No, their name.
Okay. So, Ross Weatherford.
Mm-hmm. You just click enter.
Hey, folks. I come bearing gifts. Sit down. This most likely is the weapon used to murder Garrett Barlow. Brody here used to break heads for Van Zandt. I figure he's back on the payroll.
What reason would he have to murder his own lawyer?
You wanted to be the lone wolf. Gotta learn to hunt on your own.
Do you smell burnt toast?
No, why do you ask?
Because it's the only plausible explanation for why your boots would be on my table. You're having a stroke.
I am basking in the glow of victory.
Oh.
What's going on?
Oh, well, this is Alden's version of a victory lap. And now it's over.
Well, I heard about Barlow. Thought I might be able to offer some insight.
Well, I appreciate it, but I think I already got the guy. The guy you put away, Brody Haywood. Remember that case?
Remember it well. What do you make for his motive?
Well, revenge on Barlow for a job not so well done.
Makes sense.
Or maybe Van Zandt put him back on the payroll to off his attorney.
And you got evidence for that?
Gut feeling.
At least you're still running the show.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, I didn't think you'd be home for a couple of weeks. So how long you on leave?
TBD.
TBD. Well, FYI, it's nice to have you home. Getting tired of my own cooking.
How's the first month of your new term going?
Okay, all right. Got better today.
Yeah? Why is that?
Well, the new sheriff in York has been kind of a burr under my saddle. You see, Clint's replacement is a female. She's only had a couple years' experience, but she thinks she's God's gift.
Why does her gender matter?
It doesn't.
Then why emphasize it?
Whoa!
Dad, I can't tell you the number of times that I have needed to go above and beyond to impress my male superiors. And even then, it's not always appreciated.
Well, I'm sorry you had to experience that, but well, this situation's different.
Okay. I was surprised to hear you were even running for re-election.
I got some loose ends I'd like to tie up.
Maddie didn't encourage you to retire.
Oh, yes, she did.
How is that going, by the way?
That's going fine, by the way. I guess. Good, okay. She likes to give me a hard time.
Kind of like Mom used to do.
Like you do. What's he doing here?
Sit. Ballistics confirmed his gun did not kill Garrett Barlow.
So he used a different 9mm. He may be as dumb as a box of rocks, but even he knows how to ditch a murder weapon.
Wasn't even at the reenactment.
He was on the list.
I sprained my ankle. Had to go to the ER to make sure I ain't busted it.
My gut still tells me Van Zant's involved.
And my brain is telling me to stop listening to your gut.
Resisting arrest is a parole violation.
You deal with it. I have a murder to solve.
Sam, I really appreciate you helping me out with this case.
Truth be told, I'm glad you stopped by. Retired life can be a bit mundane.
I'm sure it's a lot slower than being DA.
Yeah, I figured I'd love all the free time, but turns out all I want to do in my retirement is work. These are the ones who got away.
So when you put something together, what do you do with it?
Give it to my successor. I mean, I've already helped her close a couple.
And you don't take any credit?
I gotta admit, it's been humbling. But it's also been gratifying. I spoke with Van Zant a couple weeks back, let it slip that the feds were building a RICO case against him.
Are they?
Nah, it's bluffing, but the thing about RICO, it supersedes attorney-client privilege.
They could get Barlow to testify against him.
Unlike you, I'm a good bluffer.
Do you reckon you scared Van Zant enough to sacrifice his own lawyer?
A thought crossed my mind. Word is, Johnny Prattler spoke with Barlow a few days ago, and apparently there's been tension likely stemming because Johnny's growing tired of playing second fiddle.
I've been expecting a Prattler uprising for years.
Certainly enough of them to make a move.
I'd love to go after Van Zant. Unfortunately, he lives in York.
We got a quick meeting like this. Now, it don't matter how Joe treats me. I don't care. I don't care. You know me, Alden. I just don't want to be disloyal.
Scooter, look. I'm not asking for information. I'm giving it. I reckon this way you can take credit and probably earn some brownie points alongside.
But wouldn't you be helping Joe, though?
I figure it's for Clint. But for it to work, she cannot know it came from me. You got it?
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Which is why I think it's worth looking into Van Zant.
You do?
Yep.
And you came up with this theory all on your own?
All on my lonesome.
Seriously?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes I think of things, you know, and they become thoughts, you know.
That's solid police work.
Yeah, thank you.
I just have a couple follow-up questions. You honestly thought I'd fall for Scooter feeding me fake intel?
The lead's legit.
I seriously doubt that. You clearly have a vendetta against Van Zant.
Well, I got plenty of reason. But actually, I'm trying to do the right thing.
The right thing would have been to keep your nose out of it from the start, like I asked.
You didn't ask, you told. Look, all I want to do is develop a good working relationship with you, like I had with Clint.
No. This is payback for me beating Clint, the horse you backed.
Of course I backed him. He's my best friend.
Well, big difference between supporting someone and slinging mud.
You played the old card.
I never once called you old.
You said that Clint and I were set in our ways, that our policing method is old school.
It is.
That doesn't mean it doesn't work.
I didn't turn down your offer to help because you're past your prime. My mayor backed Clint, going so far as to warn voters of an impending crime spree if I were to be elected. It's his opinion that a woman isn't qualified to do this job. If I need you to hold my hand and walk me through my first murder, all that does is validate him. Well, thanks for the tip. I'll follow up.
Actually, it was Sam Tate.
The retired DA?
Yeah, he'll walk you through it. And if you feel like running anything by me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, I'll tell Scooter.
You...
Oh, hey, sorry I'm late. What a miss. Alden bluffing this stack off.
So, nothing I haven't seen 100 times before. Not everyone's blessed with my gift of deception.
Not everyone's a politician. We're lions like breathing. Hey, Maddie, could you spot me a loan?
The word loan implies that you're gonna pay me back.
I thought you were bringing Sam.
Well, I tried calling him, but he didn't pick up.
Well, that's a bit odd, don't you think? Sam lives for these games.
Yeah, he sure does. Here, hold this.
You got Sam. Leave your full name and number, and if I don't get back with you, it's 'cause I'm playing poker.
Sam, you home? Hey, Sam, I'm coming in. It's Alden. Sam? Sam? Sam?
Oh, Sam.
I've known Sam all my life. Suicide ain't his style.
You think he was murdered?
I know he was.
Maybe he drank himself into a depressed state. We found an empty bottle of bourbon.
Everybody was aware that bourbon was his drink of choice, but not everybody knew that he developed an allergy to corn. He had to switch to Irish whiskey.
If Sam planned on ending his life, I'd argue he might want to enjoy bourbon for one last time.
You got a dust for Prince.
I will conduct a thorough investigation. You have my word.
Did you find a note?
Alden, that doesn't mean that this wasn't a suicide.
Listen, he argued for a living. There is nobody in this world who loved the sound of his own voice more than Sam did.
If there's anything suspicious, I'm sure the autopsy will reflect that.
I don't need a coroner to tell me what I already know.
But I do.
This ain't over.
And you got evidence for that.
You're up early?
Ugh, my body clock's out of whack. How you holding up?
I'm fine.
You don't have to be so stoic, Dad. Sam was a good friend. I'm sure his suicide...
He was murdered. But I don't mean to snap. I'm just a little sleep deprived, that's all. Shoot, I gotta get to work. Have a great day. find anything?
No, but I'm bumping on the coincidence of two adversarial lawyers dying within days of each other.
Exactly.
Especially since you pitched me Sam's theory that his fake RICO case inadvertently motivated Barlow's murder.
And Van Zant's connected.
If you tell me what you know about him, I'll start investigating.
I can do better than that. I can help.
Alden, you're not in the best frame of mind.
I'll follow your lead, I promise. Honest to God. I need this.
According to county records, Van Zant uses this warehouse primarily to store plumbing parts.
A lot of firepower for some shower heads and toilet seats, don't you think?
You recognize them?
Johnny and Daryl Prattler,
Brothers?
cousins.
I arrested a Prattler last week.
Be a slow week if you didn't.
Do you know every criminal in the area?
Pretty much. I know Johnny better than most. Took my daughter to the prom.
You're kidding.
Ember has a lot of good qualities, but taste of men ain't one of them.
Alden, you know we can't legally use that without a warrant.
Yeah, probably not. Not my style anyway.
Violating the Fourth Amendment?
Technology. Once you start using it, you start depending on it.
You sure that's the sheriff in you talking, or the boomer who hasn't figured out how to text?
I have FaceTimed before. I use it to talk to Amber in Afghanistan. She's a sergeant, Ordnance Disposal Unit.
Having to deal with bombs and IEDs would take a lot of courage.
Probably genetic.
It also requires a calm, circumspect temperament.
How long is this gonna take? We're getting there.
There's Van Zant.
Doesn't look like Johnny's gonna win Employee of the Month.
Not everyone knows how to talk to their employees the way you do.
I want any excuse.
And there is our probable cause.
I'm not sure some stolen TVs will be enough to get us a warrant.
You know Judge Mullins?
No?
I do. He's been a regular in our poker game for years. The same game Sam played in. The TVs will be plenty.
That poker game.
Fast track Sam's toxicology exam like you asked.
And?
Cause of death was carbon monoxide poisoning.
You sure?
Sam had a CO blood level of 1,600 parts per million. He was alive and ingesting toxic fumes for nearly 10 minutes before he died.
He must have been drugged.
Had nothing in his system. But his blood alcohol level was nearly 5 times the legal limit.
So in your professional opinion, was this a suicide? Appreciate the quick turnaround.
Sorry, Alden.
Warren knows his stuff. You get no argument about that. But he is dead wrong on this one.
You think you know better than an experienced medical examiner?
In this case, absolutely.
Well, no offense to your gut, but I am holding off on the affidavit.
You gotta be kidding.
The Van Zant theory is predicated on 2 lawyers being murdered.
So we agree to disagree on that count. But why not bring him in for questioning?
I still haven't interviewed 3/4 of the reenactors. Look, if nothing pans out, I'm willing to consider it.
Can't let Van Zant slip through his fingers. You can't do the same thing.
You're letting your disdain for him cloud your judgment.
And now I'm seeing why the voters in this county were afraid to elect you sheriff.
Thanks for your help, but I can take it from here.
Sam did say that retirement was a lot harder than he expected.
He was bored, not suicidal. This is personal, Maddie. I got an ace up my sleeve. Murdered. And I'm pretty dang sure Van Zant's involved.
What'd he say when you questioned him?
We ain't got there yet. That's why I'm here.
How dare you go over my head?
You got the warrant?
Your buddy, the mayor, might be forcing me to do this. but I'm in charge.
Fine, as long as we get Van Zandt.
Keep your weapons holstered. Watch for my cue. York Sheriff Department, we have a warrant to search your property.
You can huff and puff till you're blue in the face. They ain't letting you in there.
York Sheriff Department, we're coming in.
You're just giving them time to destroy evidence.
Let's go.
Joe! John. Van Zandt! Johnny here obviously didn't hear Sheriff Joe identify herself. He must have mistook her for an intruder. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, Alden. I heard you. My apologies. As you surmised, my bodyguard didn't realize you were in law enforcement. Easy mistake. We've all been a little bit on edge since my attorney's recent passing.
Daryl Prattler, come on out, or I'm coming in. It's out of order.
Sheriff.
What's with the Wyatt Earp routine?
Johnny was a sniper in the Marines. If he wanted to hit us, he would have hit us. He's just buying time for Daryl here to destroy more documents. Sad. Zach! Told my daughter I had some unfinished business. You're it.
Hey, Alden. I drove here with Scooter. Can you bring Johnny back to my station?
Absolutely. Nice to see you in cuffs.
Okay, so grits, A, B, C, D.
Well, we got 3 guys counting you.
Okay.
Who do you want to have do the 4th?
Well, one of y'all can do 2.
Why can't we do 3? Cause like, we got 3.
It's a rectangle. It's a warehouse, Cliff. How are you gonna divide a rectangle into 3 even pieces?
Okay, well, I'm not doing 2. You or Scooter can do 2. I'm
Scooter!
The car was parked at the station all morning. The security video's confirmed. Nobody tampered with it there.
Who's in the body bag?
Zach Van Zandt.
Anybody else hurt?
Yeah, my deputy suffered blast injuries.
Scooter?
Last I heard, he was headed into surgery.
Lord, why'd he come out of retirement? How? How was someone able to plant a bomb in one of your vehicles?
I don't know.
And how did they even know that Van Zandt was getting in it?
Scooter transports the prisoners, so it's possible that they assumed Van Zandt was gonna...
They knew about the warrant, but Alden only came to me about it this morning. Alden, what you got to say about all this? Alden! And what do they know?
Not much. They're good with DNA and fingerprints, but this is way beyond them.
All right. I'm placing Alden in charge.
Excuse me?
Oh, look, it's nothing personal. I just want an experienced sheriff at the helm.
With all due respect, you don't have the authority to make that call.
No, I don't. But I do have authority over your budget. And if you don't want your department to fund it down to a bike cop with a BB gun, you will follow his lead. You got me?
Yes, sir. Well, old school. Looks like you're up.
Is this anything like what you saw in Afghanistan?
So this bomb itself is pretty basic, but whoever made it does have some chemistry knowledge. The tertiary explosive was acetone peroxide with an ammonium nitrate oxidizer.
Fertilizer.
Yeah.
What about how it was detonated?
Remotely, likely a cell phone.
So they could have set it off from pretty much anywhere.
Except they must have had line of sight, so they could tell when Van Zandt got in the car.
That's Quite a few vantage points out there.
Yeah, even more in here.
You think it was an inside job?
I've heard that Johnny ain't happy.
Except his hands were cuffed behind his back.
Cell phone was in his back pocket.
So it's possible he set it up, but he couldn't have planted it.
Rattlers breed like rabbits. If Johnny had decided to make a move, you can bet his kin were involved.
And shooting at us would have made for the perfect distraction.
Dad, do you still have a cell?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, it looks like Johnny made a call to an unlisted number right around the time of the explosion.
Can you tell if that call detonated the bomb?
Guess there's only one way to find out.
Hey, Johnny, how'd it go with Zach? Johnny?
This phone wasn't used as the trigger device.
But whoever that was could have given someone the green light to detonate it.
That was his cousin Carl.
You sure? Isn't Carl still in prison?
Must have got out. And you didn't think running with a bad crowd would pay off one day.
Well, we should question him.
Easier said than done. Carl ain't exactly the cooperating type.
I might be able to help out with that.
I was surprised when you called me out of the blue like that. Worried it might be too good to be true.
Sorry, but it was.
Hey, Carl. Look, I just want to talk to you.
That's what Clint said last time he locked me up.
Now listen.
No, you listen. I was gonna take you to the fish fry.
Hey. Dang, Carl, that had to hurt.
I ain't done nothing wrong.
Besides aggravated use of a weapon and evading arrest?
I meant before that.
Johnny called you on the cell right before Zach Van Zant was killed.
So what?
So he needed somebody to plant that bomb and then detonate it.
I don't know nothing about no bomb.
Then what did he call you about?
Just stuff. Cousin stuff.
Carl, how about this? You tell us what you know, and if I believe you, I will forget about the parole violation I just witnessed. Trying to keep you from going back to prison, son.
Zach's been telling Johnny for years he's gonna set him up with his own territory. Never happened.
So Johnny got tired of waiting.
He was fixing to do some business on the side, but Zach caught wind.
What'd he do?
Nothing yet.
So he decided to make the first move?
If he did, I ain't had nothing to do with it.
And why should we believe you?
I was picking up trash under Harris Bridge when Johnny called. Ask my P.O.
We'll do that. Then we'll talk to Johnny.
I want to take the lead.
I know he riled you when he took a shot at you, but I know these prattlers.
You owe me one.
John?
Sheriff, I hear Ember's back. I'm thinking I might give her a call. You know, once I make bail.
This is Sheriff Joanne Porter of York County interviewing Johnny Prattler. We have reason to believe your employer's death was an inside job.
Oh, okay. Honey, I got nothing to say without my lawyer.
We also have it under good authority that you and your boss had a falling out.
Listen here, sweetheart. This is not my first rodeo. Okay, so I want my lawyer.
The interview with Johnny Prattler is concluded upon suspect's request of counsel. So here's what's gonna happen next. First, I'm charging you with attempted murder.
Aha, no, I missed on purpose.
Next, I'm gonna see to it that you don't make bail before I leak it that you're our only suspect.
Well, you can't do that.
Because everyone has a boss. And I happen to know your boss, Zach, kicked up to the Atlanta Syndicate. Or at least he did before you blew him up.
Oh, come on now.
And I'm willing to bet Atlanta won't look kindly on the fact that you shut down their business here.
Okay. Okay, see, right there, right? You can't do that. Okay, she can't do that, all right? Because I'll be dead. Sheriff.
I don't care.
I'll tell Amber you said hey.
Oh, come on, Sheriff. Sheriff, it's me. Okay, you win, okay? Listen, okay, Zach and I, we didn't always see eye to eye, okay? Yeah, sure. But I did not kill him. And yes, I took a shot at you. I am sorry. That was Zach's fault. He made me.
Unless you can point us in the direction of somebody else who wanted Zach out of the picture, I'm not inclined to accept your apology.
I got no idea who did it, okay? Look, I swear. Come on, Sheriff.
Let's go.
Just wait 1 second. Give me a minute, okay? Gosh. The mayor. Yeah.
What about the mayor?
Zach was blackmailing the mayor. I got pictures and everything. Yeah, if anybody needed Zach dead, it's the mayor.
Well, you gotta hand it to him. This is pretty intelligent for a prattler.
Just keep scrolling.
There could be some explanation for this.
How about he's a corrupt politician accepting a bribe?
I understand you want to bring him down a peg or two.
And I understand why you're defending him, your bias.
I've known him all my life. He stood up at my wedding.
Alden, a picture's worth 1,000 words, or in his case, I'd say closer to 50,000.
He's got an alibi.
How do you know?
We were playing poker during the time each of those murders happened.
So maybe he used his bribe money to hire a hitman.
And you think I have it in for Van Zandt?
Okay. Okay, for the sake of argument, let's say the mayor had nothing to do with the first 2 deaths.
Because he didn't.
But he did know about the warrant before anybody else.
So?
If Van Zandt really was blackmailing him, maybe the mayor saw an opportunity to get rid of him and make us think all 3 deaths were connected.
I don't see him doing that to Scooter.
Alden, we served the warrant immediately after the judge signed it. The mayor's the only one who had any advance notice about Van Zandt's arrest.
Maybe not. What if Johnny made us during the stakeout? He would have known we were going to arrest his boss. He would have seen his opportunity.
Fine. So we have 2 suspects. What's our next move, boss?
I don't know about you, but I could use a drink.
Finally, something I agree with. Thanks again for staying open for us.
Oh, it's fine. You guys find out whoever did this to Scooter. Look, I want to go home. Would you lock up for me?
Sure, I got you covered.
No matter how much he begs, don't share your bacon.
Promise. Heart issues?
Doc says if I limit my drinking, get enough sleep, avoid stress, you'll be fine.
Guess you have nothing to worry about then. I couldn't help but notice it, seems like being at the bomb site was hard on your daughter. Did she experience something in Afghanistan?
Ember's a lot like me. I figure if she wants to talk, she will. She, had a childhood friend who recently passed.
Was she sick?
No. Back in her 20s, she was T-boned by a drunk driver. Invalid ever since.
What happened to the driver?
Walked away scot-free.
Ugh.
Thing is, the accident happened when Steph was on her way to pick up Ember from an old abandoned mill that kids used to party at. Ember feels guilty about it to this day.
Look, it's none of my business, but PTSD is not something to take lightly. You should really check in on her. And speaking of issues you'd prefer not to deal with, what are we gonna do about the mayor?
Let me sleep on that. Good morning.
Hey. You're sure racking up the overtime?
Yeah, I spent the whole night at the hospital with Scooter.
Any change?
Nah, I'm just gonna grab a shower and head back.
You can't keep burning the candle at both ends, Dad.
You realize every time we have this conversation is a time when you ought to be sleeping too.
I'm still on cobble time.
About that, I don't know what you went through over there, but it seems that it might have taken a bit of a toll on you. So if you ever want to talk about it, I'm willing.
My convoy hit an IED. I heard about what happened to Steph, and I lost focus. Made a mistake. Nobody died, but they could have.
It's what McNamara called the fog of war.
Yeah, that's what the Army psychiatrist keeps telling me. Talking to her is helping.
That's good.
Maybe you should try it out.
Oh, shoot, I'm fine. I'm doing all right.
You could always talk to me.
I appreciate the offer, Amber, but really, I'm doing fine. I promise. Blown off steam?
My firearm recertification's next month, but yeah, that too. So I got up early and looked through some of Clint's old cases.
Looking for what?
Anyone connected to Van Zant who was defended by Barlow but convicted by Sam, who's subsequently been released.
I'm looking for revenge. That's a good idea.
Well, unfortunately, nobody connects the dots.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Speaking of which, let's see what you got. Maybe I can give you a little help.
That'd be great.
Don't I feel stupid?
I was on SWAT team back when I was a state trooper.
Excuse me. Dante, what's up?
All right, so between the time that Scooter parked the car and came back for it, There's no one in the vicinity.
You sure?
I've gone over this thing frame by frame. The bomb was placed in the car before we arrived.
Which points us back to the mayor, who had the most opportunity to plant it.
Or Johnny, if he spotted us during the stakeout.
Have we considered the possibility that Van Zant wasn't the target?
Scooter?
Maybe.
Or me.
You really think you might have been the intended target?
Had it detonated a few seconds later, I'd have been in the car.
That seems like a stretch.
A lot of people didn't like the idea of a female running for sheriff. I got my first death threat the day I announced my candidacy. A regular occurrence by election day.
It's a long way from making a threat to actually doing something.
Scooter and me being the target eliminates the question of how Killer knew we'd arrest Van Zant.
It also eliminates Johnny and the mayor from being suspects.
If the mayor wanted to get rid of Van Zant, I'd make for good collateral damage.
You actually think the mayor wants you dead?
You might be able to convince Clint to come back.
I'm not gonna waste my time on some conspiracy theory.
Not when it involves a card-carrying member of your poker game.
Look, when you've been on the job a few years instead of just a few weeks, you're gonna start to realize that the obvious answer is usually the right one.
Let me guess. Johnny making a move on his boss.
I guarantee you, if you let him out, the first move he's gonna make is to stake a claim on Van Zant's empire.
You're so sure. Why don't we?
Oh! Oh, Johnny. Man, Johnny, let's get in the car. Back to work, back to work. Rock and roll.
You know, there was a white truck parked outside of Barlow's office the night of his murder.
Did you have anything to do with his office being trashed?
Well, I walked in on some guy in a ski mask. I'm pretty sure it was Carl. And then Johnny cold cocked me.
And you didn't think that that was worth sharing?
That was before we were working together.
Is that what we're doing?
Aren't we?
We have just two viable suspects. One currently being tailed by your deputy, the other who you refuse to investigate.
Joe, I'm not sure you see it yet.
More
If
pearls
you
of
want to be
wisdom.
more than a one-term sheriff, you're gonna have to get the mayor in your corner.
So you're just looking out for my best interest?
Not everybody's out to get you.
Please. You would love nothing more than to have the voters recall me and reinstate Clinton.
That is not true. Now you're just being paranoid.
How can I not be? You're circling the wagons to protect your poker buddy. If the mayor wasn't your friend, would you have at least questioned him by now?
He's been in office for years. Not even a hint of corruption. You can't go accuse the man of murder based on what Johnny Prattler said.
I can, and I'm going to. The only question is whether or not you're coming with me.
So, you have any leads?
We're looking into one right now.
This isn't what it looks like.
So you're not accepting a bribe?
Zach offered me a campaign donation, but I didn't take it.
Right. Because politicians hate free money.
Do you have a photo of me leaving with the cash?
What made him think you'd accept his donation in the first place?
The word got out that my campaign was broke and I was trailing in the polls.
We have a witness who claims Van Zant was blackmailing you.
Well, he tried. And he made a case that some folks might come to the same conclusion you did if he leaked the photos.
But he was killed before he got the chance to.
Are you implying that I had something to do with his death?
I'm stating that you had obvious motive.
Are you just gonna let this woman waltz in here and
He
accuse
didn't
me
let
of
me
murder?
do anything. This is my county and my investigation. So you can threaten my budget all you want.
Oh, now
I'm taking
see,
back
it's all
the lead.
about the budget. I should have seen this coming, huh?
Mayor, I'm trying to do my job. The job I was elected to do. The job you seem to think I'm incapable of, and yet, here I am, sir.
In all my years of public office, I have never once accepted a bribe. And I had nothing to do with making a bomb. Now, if you're gonna arrest me, do it. Otherwise, get out of my office.
Clint never would have done this. Clint never had reason to. Joe's a good sheriff. She got a real bright future.
Alden,
What?
the mayor drives a white truck.
Yeah.
Another detail that just slipped your mind?
Looks like Johnny took the bait.
I'm telling the truth, Johnny. Zach had it.
Hit him again. Carl, how do you reckon I question a man when he's knocked out?
Congratulations, Johnny. That must be some sort of record. You're out for 37 minutes, you're headed back in.
This is the part where you slowly take out your guns and place them on the bar.
Where's the third guy?
Don't move. All right, hey. Don't anybody do anything stupid they're gonna regret.
Sheriff, you might want to put your guns down. You know, unless you want your deputy back here turned into Swiss cheese. Sheriff, you know, I should have killed you when I had a chance back at Barlow's office.
John. Even you aren't dumb enough to murder a couple of cops.
Oh, so you don't know how dumb I am. That was Zach's problem, you see. He thought with his brain too much.
So blowing him up was your idea of persuading the mob that he was killed by a rival gang?
Now, I already told you both I had nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing against killing a man. Or a woman.
As much as I appreciate ladies first, if you're gonna start shooting, it really should be Alden for getting me into this mess.
That is cold. Okay. There's something.
Daryl!
Stay back!
I know that weapon only holds 3 rounds. You're done, son.
Frisbee golf. Twice a week.
Why were they beating you?
I have no idea.
Come on, Billy. Worst kept secret in the county. Your name's on the front of this place, but Van Zandt owns it lock, stock, and barrel.
Johnny wanted me to sign the deed over to him.
No offense, but your club's a dump. Why did he want it so bad?
Zach had a deal lined up to sell the land to some developer. Planned to put up condos.
It's not zoned for condos.
Yeah. Zach seemed to think he could convince the mayor to push it through.
How much we talking?
Millions. Just said he'd let me go after I gave him the deed, but I was kind of skeptical considering he'd already tried shooting me.
When?
Yesterday.
And you're sure you saw Johnny?
No. But he had threatened me before, and I saw a white truck speed away.
Did you believe Johnny when he said he didn't kill Van Zandt?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so did I. I'm gonna put an APB out on that truck.
Oh, he's probably halfway out of the state by now.
Copy that. Thanks, Bill. Were you wearing your reflective gear?
Yeah. And I know I had my earbuds in, but there's no way that vehicle didn't see me.
I think I'll go take a look at the site of the accident.
You look for my watch. I think it came off my wrist.
Oh, sure. I'll keep an eye out for it. You know, it's funny. I've been praying for years that you get home and I could stop worrying about keeping you safe.
Apparently, God enjoys irony.
Yeah, I guess so.
About being home. I have the option to take an honorable discharge.
So what are you thinking?
Someone in our family should know when it's time to retire.
The truck sure swerved a long ways off the highway.
Yeah, beginning to turn on the headlights, the driver was definitely impaired.
You reckon that was about a 22-inch tread?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a truck tire.
Hey.
You find something?
Ember's watch. White paint on the face.
Now, you think Johnny would have much more pressing issues like getting a bullet out of his foot.
Did Joe send you down here?
No, I'm here on my own.
Well, with friends like you, who needs enemies, huh?
How'd you get that fresh dent in your fender?
Runaway shopping cart? Why?
Because whoever's behind all this is driving a white truck.
Lots of folks drive white trucks.
Well, this white truck sideswiped Ember.
Is she all right?
Busted wrist, cracked ribs, maybe a concussion.
Well, now hold on here. I'm her godfather, Alden. You can't possibly believe I had anything to do with that.
Well, that's the problem, Hugh. I never can tell when you're bluffing.
I heard about Ember. How's she doing?
Doc says she'll be fine. She's pretty banged up, though.
You okay? Yeah, I get it. Between Sam and Scooter and now Ember.
No. No, it's more than that. I'm afraid you were right. I think I'm a little past my expiration date.
I never thought that. At least I don't anymore.
Well, I do. As a sheriff, I've always relied on my gut feeling about things, but now I'm not sure what to rely on.
You're just exhausted. You're run down.
I shouldn't have run again. I'm not fit for office. I'm sorry. Here I am whining along. I guess I thought since you studied psychiatry, you'd... I read your bio.
Alden, you spent your entire life protecting people. The fact that cases still keep you up at night is a testament to your character. But caring takes a toll. You can't save everybody. And you can't catch every criminal. Once we figure this out, and we will, take a vacation. Bad guys will still be here when you get back.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, you'll be getting a bill from York County's new police psychology office, don't worry. So any leads on Ember's hit and run?
Well, it was a white truck.
Johnny's?
I'm thinking the mayor. I mean, you were right. I was looking out for him, at least subconsciously.
What reason would he have to do this to Ember?
I do not know. I mean, maybe to distract me from things. I mean, there's a dent in his truck. I figure I'll test the paint against what's on her watch.
Alden. Scooter's awake.
Being a victim of the crime has really had an effect on me. It has. It's like I've been the lifeguard so long I forgot what it's like to drown inside the pool. But y'all can believe this if you want to, but I sort of kind of saw my life flash in front of me, kind of like, you know, people say that it does, you know. I saw things that I've done. I saw things that I hadn't done yet, and can't figure that one out, but it's made me look at my life a lot different. It just has. I'm just thankful to be alive. That's all I gotta say.
That's great.
We all should be. You're right.
Any leads on the bomber?
Well, it's kind of a long shot, but there's a chance it was intended for you.
Yeah, have you had any threats made against you?
Oh, no. No. I yelled at Carl Baker the other day to cut his radio down, but I don't think that's enough to blow me up. But no, there ain't nobody out there gonna put old Scooter down for good, no.
The victim.
What?
Scooter said he felt like the victim. When we've been talking about folks who were affected by Sam and Barlow together, we've only been talking about those who were convicted.
Right, to explain motive.
What about those who were acquitted? There's a lot of folks who did not go to prison.
So maybe it's not the accused, but the victim wanting justice they never got?
Or the father of the victim. Let's have another chat with our friend Billy Morton. I'll take the house.
I'll swing by the bar.
Keep your phone on you.
Mr. Morton? Billy? Sheriff Joanne Porter.
Billy, Alden, I'm here for your protection. Amber?
Hello, Alden. Toss your gun to the side. Now your backup.
My backup's in the truck. Okay, coming up. Stop.
Right there.
Warren, I realize this is all about Steph. She did not get the justice she deserved. And it's got y'all bent out of shape. This ain't you. Believe me, I know how you feel.
What exactly do you think you know?
It was Barlow who convinced the jury that Scooter messed up, and that got the case tossed. When you missed him with the musket, you didn't have time to reload, so you had to go with the 9. Sam was the prosecutor who lost the case. I'm guessing you drugged him to get him into the car. It's easy enough to fake an autopsy when you're the one doing it. And you're the one who gave us Sam's phony cause of death, right when Joe was typing up the affidavit for that warrant. With your chemistry background, that gave you enough knowledge to make the bomb. You purposely waited till Van Zandt was in the car, just to lead us down the Primrose Path. Billy Morton. He was the bartender who got that driver drunk the night he T-boned Steph. Murdering him might have shown your hand, but I guess you figured you were on the home stretch. I know Steph was on her way to pick up Ember. But that don't make Ember responsible.
It's not fair, Alden! Should have been Ember. Not my daughter. Not Steph.
Warren. Warren, wait. Listen, I'm begging you, father to father. Let me...
Stop! It's not supposed to be this way.
Warren, please.
No! Need to think.
It's okay, honey.
Something's not right.
I promised your mother I'd take care of you. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's not supposed to be this way.
Warren! Stop!
Warren, no! Stop! Ever! Ever! Hang on! All right. Come on. Oh, honey. Are you okay?
This is Sheriff Joe. I need an ambulance to my location. Thank you.
Hey, Sheriff. Look at this. Maddie brought me some takeout there. That's never happened before. She said the only thing I had to do to qualify for it was to nearly die.
Scooter, I owe you an apology. I didn't trust you, and I should have.
I appreciate it. I do. It kind of makes me feel better. But I guess now's about as good a time as any to tell you. I went ahead and made a decision. I'm going to retire. Maybe go back to my wrecking business. You know, I enjoyed that. And
Well, maybe we could work out some sort of special deputy advisory position.
that sounds good. Sounds good. I'd be happy to help any way I could.
Thank you, Scooter.
How you doing, Buckaroo?
Ooh, a bit sore, but I'll live.
Actually, I meant more like if you cared to discuss things more.
I appreciate the effort, not to mention the irony of how willing you are to talk about my feelings.
Truth be told, I've been having a tough time dealing with the fact that I'm in the home stretch.
You don't think you'll run again?
I don't think so. I think it's more of a young man's game.
Or a young woman's game?
Or a young woman's.
Embrace it.
I know both Clint and Sam retired, and they felt they left things undone. Matter of fact, Sam was working on a bunch of cases that I think I can close before I walk away. If I can do that, no regrets.
No regrets.
I am all in. Don't feel bad, Joe. You're not the first guppy who tried to swim with the sharks and got ate up.
Wow, you really do live up to your bad bluffer reputation. I call, sir.
Well, that's fine. Because I wasn't bluffing. I was using reverse psychology.
I know.
That's right for me. Thank you.
I suppose this is as good a time as any. Alvin, we got you something.
We all chipped in. Although in reality, it was your money.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Love for the best of them. Well, actually, the joke's on y'all. Because I did need some reading material for the beach.
You're taking a vacation?
Not gonna be around next week to help you guys pay your bills. Maddie and I are heading to Florida to visit Clint and Jordan.
I was so happy and not a little shocked when Alden suggested it.
An actual cheeseburger.
One cheeseburger's not gonna kill you. At least hopefully not until after our little vacation. Enjoy.
You know, some things in life are worth the gamble.